Well, hi, everyone out there. Thank you for joining me on Lunch with Grace Live. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever said something so awkward that you wanted the earth to swallow you whole? Or maybe you tripped in public and suddenly everyone becomes a witness to your downfall? Right here. Honey, listen, welcome to the club. We all have cringe-worthy moments. But what if I told you that those moments are actually your superpower? So, for example, I remember this one time I was on stage trying to look all confident. It was in the early stand up comedy days, and I tripped over my own joke. I mean, literally, I tripped. Face plant, like the mic feedback, the audience just silent for a second, and then laughter. Everybody was laughing because it was hilarious. I was in a little bit of pain, but they were laughing. And guess what? We all relate to those OMG no moments. All right. Well, thank you for joining on YouTube. If you have any comments or you want to give us a tale, a story of when you had a cringe-worthy moment, I definitely want to hear it. All right. So, why do we feel cringe? Well, the brain is wired for social survival. So, the fear of social rejection is very deeply ingrained in us. The prefrontal cortex overanalyzes awkward moments, making them seem really much bigger than they are. So, the spotlight effect makes us believe that everyone notices our blunders more than they really do. So it's almost like the world revolves around me. And so everybody's watching, and then everybody just saw me trip and everybody is laughing at me. But it's not like that. It's just your brain playing tricks on you. Yes, when I was on the stage and I tripped, literally everybody was looking at me, but I had no other choice. But if you're on the street and you trip, and some people will notice you, some people will be like, whatever. So who's going to judge you? And if they judge you, who cares? So, practical tip I'm going to give you, because I always give you practical tips. Next time you feel cringe creeping in, remind yourself, no one is thinking about it as much as I am. Remember that. So, we're talking about turning cringe into confidence today. That's the topic of the day. So, honey, grab your lunch, relax, and let's turn those facepalm moments into power moves. All right. So turning cringe into confidence, I'm going to leave that. That's the topic, and how to turn it, to embrace it and turn it into a superpower. So first of all, we're going to talk about the power of cringe, why we all have those moments. Cringe is universal. Okay, even celebrities do it. Like, remember Jennifer Lawrence when she tripped at the Oscars, and she laughed about it, and we were more endeared towards her because we realized she's human. She's a celebrity, but she trips like us. So it was cute. It was, I mean, I'm sure she was in pain. Not in a lot of pain because it wasn't like face plant, but she probably thought, her brain went, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But she always turns things into something funny, which I love about Jennifer Lawrence. Remember when Steve Harvey announced the wrong Miss Universe? Can you imagine? That happened a few years ago, like not too long ago. That is embarrassing. Like, oh my God, imagine. And I remember that the woman that, supposedly won was so excited. And then that's a tough one for the woman, not for Steve as much as the woman that she thought she had won. That's Steve. He's a great host, but we all have those cringeworthy moments. And remember when Adele forgot the lyrics, her own lyrics, okay, on the stage. Remember when she did that? She's human. We're all human. And listen, if Jennifer Lawrence can faceplant at the Oscars and still be iconic, we can all survive our awkward Zoom call moment. Remember, there was, speaking of those, I remember there was this guy that was, I think it was live on TV, and the kid in his diaper or something just came in the background screaming. It was hysterical. So we all have those Zoom call moments, or people that forget they have no pants on. They stand up. That's cringeworthy. But you know what? What are you going to do? We got to laugh it off. That's how you turn the cringe moment into confidence. Like, hey, yeah, I just stood up and you can see my underwear, but I'm wearing underwear at least. Okay. And it's cool. It's really nice. You want me to give you a link to this underwear? So yeah, we can all turn it into a confidence moment and a laughable moment, right? So I actually put out some I email people and I DM them and ask them for stories. Okay, so I can tell them on the live. The names are all different. Okay, they're I'm not going to say people's names. Even if they say it, I'm not going to say it. So okay, so Sarah. Okay, she says, I accidentally waved back at someone who wasn't waving at me. I committed to the wave. Oh my God, haven't we all done that? I do it all the time. Or I think I hear my name, Grace, and I'm like, hey, oh, woo, ha, yeah. Hey, friend, no, not you, I thought you were waving to me, but not you, not you. My God. I know we've all done that, right? Tell me, by the way, in the comments, if you're on any of the platforms, except on Instagram, I cannot see the comments on Instagram. But if you're on any other platform, please tell me one of your cringe-worthy moments. I would love to hear about it. And if you're watching the replay, please do the same thing because I will reply to your comment. I want to know. I'm very, very nosy. So another audience member that I polled, David, we're going to call him David. He says, I called my boss mom in a meeting. We made eye contact. It was horrible. Yeah. Well, and subconsciously kind of makes sense because the boss, like when you're little, your mom is your boss, right? So it was like a Freudian slip. I have a lot of those. Or like, love you. Oh my God, I've said love you to people that I'm like, no, I kind of don't love you. Like, because it comes out because I'm used to saying it. So yeah, we all do it. We all do it, you guys. But again, we laugh it off and we turn it into a confidence moment. Like somebody who's not really waving at you, you just confidently wave at somebody who's not even there. Like, hey, no, it wasn't you, it was you. I mean, we can all save save our ego from all this, right? Now, I'm going to go because every time I do a live, I try to have a scientific explanation of things and then give you practical tips and also stories so we know we're not alone. Stories that that are mine or stories that are somebody else's with fake names, definitely. Okay. So the scientific explanation, why do we dwell on embarrassment? All right. There's something called the negativity bias. The brain fixates on bad experiences more than good ones. That is so true. On the stage, a lot of us comics, we focus on the one person who's not laughing instead of focusing on the 99 others that are laughing. Why? I have no idea, but we all do that. I've done it to the point where I was like, I need to stop it because this is dumb. Why am I doing this? So yeah, we've all done it. We focus on the negative, and that's just the way our brains are wired, and also the way we are programmed to think. Because it's like this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this is acceptable, this is unacceptable. So we have all those rules in our head, so we immediately go to the negativity bias. Okay, we fixate on the negative, on what we did wrong, on the cringeworthy moment. Another thing that will explain why we dwell on embarrassment is the social anxiety loop. And what is that? It's overthinking the moment that creates a self-fulfilling cycle of embarrassment. So yes, we all do that. Please tell me in the comments if you overthink the cringeworthy moments. I definitely do it. And then sometimes, I don't know if you do this, I'm going to confess something. Sometimes I'm like, Grace, why did you do that? Like I talk to myself. Like I look in the mirror, like, why did you do that? You should not have done that. But then I just laugh. The fact that I'm looking in the mirror and talking to myself is funny. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let it go. Let it go. It's okay. People will not remember it unless they're like really vengeful. Some people are really vengeful and they will remember when you, and you're like, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So another factor why we dwell on embarrassment um, is reframe it. Well, it's actually how we can turn it. Okay. So instead of dwelling on the embarrassment, we reframe it like we've been talking about. So you just think about this. If you wouldn't judge someone else for it, whatever it cringing with a cringe-worthy moment is, why are you going to judge yourself, right? We're nicer to other people than we are to ourselves sometimes. Some of us, not all people. So please, if you are, because I see some people are coming in, and if you want to tell me in the comments what your biggest cringe-worthy moment was, I would love to hear about it. So remember, we dwell on embarrassment because we fixate on the experiences that are more negative, and we create some kind of cycle of embarrassment, by just thinking about it all the time, overthinking about it. Okay, so you're like, oh, Grace, can you give me some practical tips on how to deal with this? Of course I can, because that's what I'm here for. So when you feel cringe, just ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Probably not. Now, another question I ask myself is, would I laugh if this happened to someone else? Probably yes. So turn your cringe into a future hilarious dinner party story or a future party story. I have so many stories. I share them on the lives because I've done a lot of cringe-worthy stuff and goofy stuff. And I'm like, ah. But then I turn it into a story and people relate to it too. And it makes me feel better. I'll tell your best friend, hey, you know what happened? This is the dumb thing I did today. I do that a lot. And I laugh and they laugh, and because they know who you are. And so it's like, okay, I feel better now. Okay. So now we're going to go to another part of the live where we're going to talk about turning cringe into fuel, learning to laugh and grow. So, why embracing cringe makes you magnetic? Yes, you heard it right. Embracing your cringe makes you magnetic. I remember in the movie, what was the name? That it was Ben Stiller as a model, and it started with a Z. I can't remember the name, but I remember he said, "Embrace your suckiness," and I was like, "That is brilliant. Embrace your suckiness. Embrace your cringe worthiness. Embrace your awkwardness. Embrace it and love it." And do you know why embracing the cringe makes you magnetic? Because people love authenticity. And also owning your awkwardness make you so relatable and fun. It's like, oh, this person is like not taking themselves seriously. They don't care if they do something weird or awkward or cringe. So yeah, and I will call myself out on it in front of the person, like, oh, that was cringe. That was no, it's not good. That was awkward, and that kind of releases the tension for you and for the other person, right? So okay, so I have a personal cringe story, and this is the time when I really, really learned to laugh at myself. Okay. I know a lot of us have done this. I text a lot and sometimes I'm distracted. So I once accidentally sent a text meant for my bestie to my crush, and it was not PG, and it was about my crush. Okay. So I had two choices, right? Move to another country, the most reasonable one, or laugh it off. And guess which one did I choose? Tell me. Of course, I laughed it off because what are you gonna do? Or just I don't even make up a story like, oh, it was a prank. It was just to see. No, it's like, you know what? This was for my bestie. And yes, I have a crush on you, in case you didn't know. And no, you don't have a crush on me. It's okay. I live. So I'm glad that now we got that out of the way, right? Okay. So I want to talk to you guys how comedy helped me embrace the cringe. Because, okay, so the cringe, whether it's mine or other people's cringe, but mostly mine, you turn awkwardness into connection with my audience, right? When I do stand up, if we tell, all comics do this, right? We tell people like, this is what I did, and then punchline, right? And so the awkwardness makes you endearing to the audience also, and they can connect to it because they've done something awkward and weird, and now it's almost like we're giving each other, both the comic and the audience, we're giving each other permission to laugh about it. When people laugh, it's mostly because they think the same way, or they have been there, not in the same situation maybe, but they know that feeling that you are conveying about that awkwardness. And so that is universal. That's how we connect with each other, right? With our humanity. So, and humor, I think, dissolves embarrassment because, like I said, it's almost like we give permission to each other to be awkward. It's like, yeah, I did it. I'm sure you did it too, right? Yeah, of course. And that's why you're laughing, because you did something cringy too. You don't have to tell me because you're the audience member, but yeah. So it's healing. It's really, really healing. And comedians, we're just people, okay, who turn their embarrassments into entertainment. That's all we are. And I remember growing up, I would tell stories and, cringeworthy or awkward things I've done, and making fun of myself. And my mom would be like, the story, I'm going to do it with her accent. Graciela, the story itself is not very funny, but the way you tell it is very funny. And, I thought about that. Why would she say that? That the way I told, because I would convey that feeling about what I did, which connected me to the audience, which was my mom, right? And so I think that she inadvertently taught me how, connection through laughter happens. And I don't think she meant to do that, but it's okay. We'll give her points for that, right? So, of course, like I said before, I always give you practical tips, and I call it the Own It Challenge. If you mess up, call it out before someone else does, right? Because if you do something weird, like yesterday, for example, I was tutoring a student, because I do tutoring, by the way, Spanish, only Spanish, and sometimes homework help. But if you ever need Spanish tutoring, I do it online, by the way. And I also do groups. If you want to start your group, we do. I have a couple of groups of adults that do Spanish with me, and they're a lot of fun. The classes are a lot of fun. But anyway, sidebar. So I was with a student yesterday, right? And it was my first time there, and we went into her father's office, and the chairs were one of those where you sit and they go back immediately. So I went like this. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna like fall on my back. Great first impression. But of course, I made fun of it, called it out before she called it out. And the student, but she was too nice probably to call it out. She's really nice. And just made fun of it, and then kind of like just played with it and thought it was fun. So I do that now. That when I was younger, I would just be like frozen, and now I'm like, look, I just almost fell on my butt. So why not laugh at it, right? Let's laugh. Let's have fun. We all do stupid stuff. So, like, for example, I've done this. I do this so many times. Okay, I spill coffee on myself all the time, and I'm like, oh look, a Jackson Pollock. I'm into abstract painting now. I mean, it is what it is, right? And then I've drank coffee, and I'm sure you guys have done this. Like, you drink coffee in your car, and then there's a bump or something, and like the coffee just spills on your shirt, and you have to go somewhere where you need to look good, and you're desperately pulling over and getting your water bottle to like get that stain out, but it doesn't. Then you call it out before they call it out. That's what I do. So, all right, my loves. So let's go to, we're talking again about turning your cringe into confidence, embracing the awkward, and own our power. All right. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is building unshakable confidence inside and out. So reframing self doubt. How do we do that? Hmm. Well, just know that your thoughts are lying to you. Yes, that self doubt, first of all, it's an intrusive thought, okay, that wants to mess with you. Intrusive thoughts are like little elves, little demons, I think, that go, I'm gonna jump on her and see, I'm gonna mess her up because it's fun. That's how they sound to me. So what happens is, you guys, the brain exaggerates embarrassment. It's like it's way bigger in your brain than it is outside. Like, for example, like when I trip on a word here on the lives, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I call it out. I'm just like, I am Latina, so that's my Latina tongue, just trying to say something in Spanish and not doing it, and I have to say it in English, and just, but then I watch it, sometimes I don't say anything and I watch it and I'm like, that wasn't that bad. Why? In my head, I was like, the whole life, I was like, oh my God, why did I do that? That was really stupid. Yeah, I should say something. No, don't say anything. Those are the thoughts that just torture me. My brain is exaggerating the embarrassment. It really is. And another thing is, no one remembers your cringe moments as much as you do. So, and again, the rule is, would you say this to a friend? Would you say these awful things like, oh, you shouldn't have done that? Oh, you looked really dumb. Oh, would you say that to a friend that you really like? Not somebody you don't like, but to a friend you really like? You wouldn't. And then why say it to yourself? Be your best friend. That's what I always say. I want to be my best friend. So we have a lot of people joining. I would love for you guys to, we're streaming in all platforms, all my platforms. And I would love for you guys to comment and tell me one of your cringeworthy moments. I would love to hear about it. So another thing that is important, you guys, to build unshakable confidence is to find your tribe. You need to surround yourself with people that boost your energy, not people that criticize you and make you feel bad. That's going to definitely not foster that feeling of, oh my God, I did that. I can't believe it. Supportive people will be like, that was funny. It's okay. Just don't judge yourself. Just be cool about it. Nobody's going to remember it. It's these people that saw that, they're not paying your rent. That's what I think always. I didn't pay my rent. No. Okay. If somebody feels like I owe them something, it's like, dude, you're not paying my rent. So no, I don't owe you anything. We don't owe anybody anything. So let's talk about surrounding yourself with people that amplify your confidence, right? And also, that also implies that you have to cut out the cringe amplifiers, AKA the judgmental people. Well, the people that talk shit behind your back, like I know a couple of people that do that. I'm like, I am not engaging with you. I will say hello, but no thanks, because I know what you think and I know what you're saying, and your energy not matching mine right now. So bye. So learn to surround yourself with the people that love you and support you. And the ones that don't, keep them at like more than arm's distance. I would say at our 10-foot pole. Like, just stay away from me. So I'm going to give you a tip on how to create a hype file. You heard me. Yes. You can write it on your notes on your iPhone. If you have, I don't know if Androids have that. If you don't, you can text it to yourself. I do that a lot. I text to myself. So your hype file will consist of, write down compliments and achievements Remember, it's all about celebrating the small wins or just taking just one compliment in a week. If somebody gives you a compliment, it can last you a whole week. Like somebody makes you feel so good. When people say nice things, it just, I don't know about you guys, but it just makes me feel so good and so supported and loved, which I don't need that to exist, but it makes my existence so much better, right? So now that you have that hype file for yourself, when you are hit by self doubt, read that hype file. Read all the compliments and achievements for that week, that month, the last year, the last 10 years. It doesn't matter. Just have that at hand. It really, really helps. By the way, there is also an episode about self-doubt with Coach Kate Glendon that is really good. And you can check it out. It's under Lives and it's on Relationship Coaching Live. And I think it's called Self-Doubt and How to Overcome It or something like that. So you'll see the banner. All right, we are going to go to number 4, what I want to talk about. See, I have like bullet points because that makes me feel organized and more confident. See, and not cringy. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I did that in the beginning of my podcasts, and I was like, I definitely need bullet points and I need to know what I'm talking about better. All right. So remember, my loves, that confidence is a journey. Small steps, big wins. If you go to my morning tea and wisdom with Grace on my YouTube, it's under shorts. I say this a lot: small steps and big wins. Okay. What does that mean? All right, let's start with from the get-go. My tiny confidence wins that led to big changes. Okay. These are my personal stories. So the first time I told a joke on stage and it landed way back, okay, because I've been doing stand-up forever. The first time I told it and it landed, it changed everything for me. It gave me such confidence. I was like, oh, I can do this. Okay. Because stand up is very hard. In the beginning, it's hard. But then as you build your confidence, it kind of like you reach a point where you don't even care. They laugh, great. They don't laugh, it's okay. And you figure out, how can I change this joke? Maybe it didn't land because of the way I delivered it, or it needs a different punchline, or it needs to be punched up, whatever. So I learned to kind of not take it personal, okay, anymore. But it was that first time that my first joke landed. It was just magical, you guys. I'm sorry. I always have a siren because I live near. You hear that? Yeah, I'm sure you hear it. All right. They're not coming for me this time. So that's the good news. So, okay, let's talk about the power of taking tiny risks. So, small actions lead to big confidence boosts. So, here are some daily challenges, okay, that you can do for yourself. Speak up, wear what you love, have the decor in your place that makes you happy, that gives you joy, right? Dance in public. Why not? I do that in my car. Do you guys dance in your car? I'm a car dancer, big time. But like I am into it. And I make it funny sometimes, or I make it like I'm totally into it. And people see, and I've gotten like, yay, I've gotten hyped for doing my car dance. Do you guys car dance? Let me know in the comments, because I can't be the only one. Okay. So practical tip: the one cringe a day challenge. That's how I call this. So every day, do one thing that makes you feel a little awkward, that's challenging, and then own it. Yes. We do that on the stage a lot. There's a lot of things that make us feel like, ooh, that was weird. Why did I say that? Why did I? Because sometimes we do improv stuff. But then I own it. I'm like, yeah, I said that. That was weird, but okay. Yeah. Wasn't it fun? So let me know in the comments, you guys. I want to start a conversation with you. I would love to hear from you. If you're on YouTube and X, you can comment, the comments will show. And I see some people on X and on YouTube. So make sure that you let me know in the comments. Okay. And by the way, tonight at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, the fabulously hilarious Gina Brion, who has a ton of comedy specials everywhere, HBO, Amazon, Showtime. She's going to be on the State of Grace podcast. And you can look at it under lives on my channel. And by the way, if you can help me grow this community and help, helping others and making people laugh, if you can subscribe, that would be amazing. And if you subscribe and you send me the screenshot, you can send it to me on Instagram. Make sure you follow me. So I always follow back. So make sure you follow me so I can get it on my inbox, not the other one that I never check. So, and just show me a screenshot that says you're subscribed, because YouTube doesn't let you know who subscribes, just randomly tells you this one subscribed, this one, but not everybody. It's weird, but that's the way they are. And that's fine. I respect it. And also, I just want to make sure that you guys tune in on March 8th. It's a Saturday. We're doing a comedy marathon. It is the world's longest stand-up comedy special. I'm going to have 30 comics and 5 experts talk about comedy, and 30 comics just doing comedy. And we're going to have shorts that are hilarious, exclusive content that I don't show. I only have on my Patreon or OnlyFans, exclusive comedy content. And I'm going to show some of the episodes there. We do a lot of characters. We're going to have characters. And it's going to be myself, Stephanie Tejada, Jacqueline Passaro, and Carlos Eaton. The 4 of us are going to have all these clips and fun shorts that just, I'm going to keep it going, right? But 30 comics, you guys. And we go from 11 a.m. Pacific time, which would be 2 p.m. Eastern time, to 7 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 10 p.m. Eastern time. So please join us, because that's going to be epic. I am not kidding you. I have a co-host, Carlos Eaton, who's also showing his films. He's going to help me co-host and co-engineer, because I cannot do, it's a big event. I cannot do it by myself. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting, you guys. It's going to be amazing. So if you guys want to join, I would love to have you there. Okay. So I'm trying to find out. Okay. So let's see. Do we have any comments? Not yet. I would love to post comments, you guys, that we can, just connect and have fun with your stories. Okay. So give me 1 second. I'm engineering this show. So I'm going to put this here. And there we go. Okay. So this is what we were talking about. So we have a little bit of time, and I love that there's a lot of people that have joined. So I don't want to let you guys go. But let's turn it into just sharing experiences. I'm trying to think of more awkward moments that I had. Let me see. Have I had, let me see. I have stories. They're cringy because of the situation. It wasn't just me, but okay. So one time I was in North Anaheim, California, doing a show in a bar. And it was a very weird bar. Like, the vibe was really kind of gangsta. So there was this guy who was sitting at the bar, and you could tell he had a sheath with a knife hanging on his back. Like he had, it's like a belt or something, or they put it on their pants. And I saw that, and nobody was saying anything. Everybody was well, it's normal, right? So I go up on the stage, not really a stage, but it's a piece of, room, just a little pocket like in the corner. And we have the tables like right there, like literally like arm's length. So this guy is sitting in front in the on the front table. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. It could have gotten me killed. Okay, so I go, "Hey, is that a knife or are you happy to see me?" As soon as that came out of my mouth, I was like, I was trying to get my word. No, too late. They were out. He heard them. Okay. So what he does next, he grabs the knife. I'm like, oh my, and there I'm thinking, I'm just praying to God, okay, take me. I hope you take me into heaven. I hope I made it into heaven because I'm just gonna get unalive today. And I was literally almost grabbing my phone, just telling my mom, I think today is the day, mom, and you need to fly to LA and bury me because it's gonna happen. He takes the knife out. Okay, he's literally sitting arm's length. Takes the knife out, and when he's like this, I'm like, and he puts it on the table. So he was saying, yes, biatch, I have a knife. What is it to you? That was the message, right? Kind of defiant. So I was like, okay, Grace, think, think, think. So I'm like, hey, can I give you my ex-boyfriend's address? I swear to God, you guys, that saved my life. The guy laughed. He thought it was hysterical. To the point when we end the show, he grabs the knife, I guess, puts it in his sheath. I didn't even look. I was too scared. And I'm about to get out because I was like, I'm leaving because he's going to do something to me. He comes up to me. I'm like, uh-oh. I look at his hands. Does he have a knife? And he goes, you're hilarious. And he hugged me. I was like, does he have the knife still? Because I was like, oh my God. But no, it saved my life, you guys. I challenged him. How stupid is that? Nobody said anything about the knife, but I have to say something. But anyway, in that case, that's the perfect example of how laughter, how when you flip a situation, it can literally save your life. Have you ever done anything as dumb as that or dumber? I don't know if there's anything dumber than that. I am not sure, you guys. It is so cringe what I did. Ay, 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 that was crazy. So please feel free to put in the comments if you have ever had a cringe moment and how you handled it. I would love to know. I see like you guys are a little bit shy today. It's okay. I love you even when you're shy. It's all good. But yeah, so comment your most cringe-worthy moment and also follow me, subscribe to me for confidence boosting tips, okay? And tag me in your one cringe a day challenge. How about that? We can do a challenge. Wouldn't that be fun? Like one cringe a day challenge. And let's see who has the most cringes wins. That would be fun. Should I start it? Let me know in the comments. That would be super fun. Yes. So anyway, you guys, don't forget to tune in tonight. And remember, you are funnier than you think, stronger than you know, and definitely not as awkward as you feel. So see you next time, my loves, on Lunch with Grace. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll see you tonight, 7:30 p.m. on my YouTube, The State of Grace Fraga. Mwah.